to subjective human experiences and terrible things, and
That's completely subjective.
You're being subjective in your evaluation of Buck Rogers.
It's like a breasts or subjective opinion type.
Subjectively.
And there's a subjectivity to those stories that we're not tapping into.
Authority is arbitrary and subjective.
Time is now a subjective matter.
It's a subjective sense of...
How do you know when's in a music competition? Isn't it subjective?
The worst they can say is you're horrendous, which is
Descartes
subjective.
at least provided for the subjective nature of experience.
background. You made some references earlier to subjective human experiences and terrible things, and actually, I'm confused about your path.
Were you popular in high school?
That's completely subjective.
No, it's not. Whether or not you were popular.
At first I thought he was guilty, and then...
You're being subjective in your evaluation of Buck Rogers. I, on the other hand, support him for very...
Okay, one man's small is another man's perfection. It's like a breasts or subjective opinion topic.
Maybe if you're booking a fashion show, mate. I'm talking about
Truth means nothing to a woman, Delmer. Trying for the subjective. You ever been with a woman?
But from the inside, subjectively. I assure you, it's quite the opposite entirely.
It's so cold. Let's really examine it. And there's a subjectivity to those stories that we're not tapping into. We need to go inside people's homes.
Why can't you just live by the rules?
Authority is arbitrary and subjective.
This is the same kind of attitude that got you 80. Time is now a subjective matter. You decide in your mind when day breaks.
We can't measure it in a laboratory. It's a subjective sense of becoming what we are instead of...
I found out I'm the youngest person in the entire band. How do you know when's in a music competition? Isn't it subjective? No.
Does the studio get your job?
She said it's important to show up because if you show up, the worst they can say is you're horrendous, which is subjective, but not showing up is objective.
Well,
thank you for explaining it.
Descartes at least provided for the subjective nature of experience.
Yes. You annoy me, therefore I exist.
The loss of integrity is no key at all.
Integrity is subjective. Miss Armstrong, I'm sympathetic, but you've got to help me out.
The effects are varied, but can include acute memory loss.
For how long?
Subjective. An hour, day, week.
So you're